Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Did you ever wonder if your birth date holds information about your destiny? Why you keep seeing the same number or several numbers? Welcome to Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. I am your host, King Simon. Numbers are not here to control you, they're here to give you guidance. It's time for you to be able to read the numbers.
Greetings. Enter to win 500 grams of silver grains. The 100 subscriber to banksilver.org will win 500 grams of silver 0.999 grams.
Hi, I'm Lloyd Strayhorn, inviting you to heal with the numbers and cards in person at the Circle of Cosmic Consciousness Retreat in New Orleans. Go to stshealing.com to learn from the Masters, Aquarius Maximus, King Simon, Nina Diamond, Jazz Aphrodite, and myself. Don't forget, New Orleans, August 17th through the 20th at the Cosmic Consciousness Retreat. Register now at stshealing.com. That's stshealing.com. See you there.
Billy Carson here, aka Forbidden Knowledge. I want to talk to you about an amazing event. It's the Forbidden Conscious Awards going down in Miami, July 30th, 2023. Go to forbiddenknowledge.com where you can pay for tickets. We're giving away 12 amazing awards. We're also going to give away an Audi A4 live at the event with big celebrity guests like Havoc from Mobb Deep, myself, Forbidden Knowledge. Also, we'll have Dame Dash, performances by Donnie Arcade, and Cruz. I want to see you there, July 30th, the Forbidden Conscious Awards.
Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovator. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now.
So remember, our job as studiers of these metaphysical, esoteric knowledge is to help enhance people to be better. I, as a numerator, using the numbers, or quote-unquote numerals, and motivation to get people to understand why they need to activate their numbers to be their very best self and maximize it. Because the numerals hold a frequency. And if you're willing to turn up that frequency, then that frequency can help to guide you and navigate you to a higher height that will allow you to spiral to be your best self. We must remember that. Keep rising, keep shining. Know that when you love for good. For sure, that's what family is for. Keep shining, keep rising. Know for sure you love for good. Yeah, that's what family is for. I know I changed the lyrics. It's an old song by Dionne Warwick, Friends. That's what friends are for. But today we're going to talk about family healing is needed. Actually, coming out of my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability, in the 6th phase of my book is called Family Balance for Mental Stability. That's family balance for mental stability. You know, I know a lot of us go through a lot of family issues. Our children may be going through stuff. Our parents may have gone through some stuff. Our cousins, our aunties. A lot of us have been disrespected, dishonored, just plain old dissed by our family. But at the end of the day, family, and I say this with all due respect, at the end of the day, you came through your family to get the lessons or the blessings from them. Let me say that right now. You came through your family to get those lessons, whether they're hard, crazy lessons, and you came through them to get the blessings of what you need to do to make yourself and your family better. So in my book, in the 6th phase of my book, on the 55th page of my book called Numerovation for Mental Stability, I wrote a chapter dedicated to family balance and mental stability. Because the number 6, and today adds up to a number 6, but the number 19 that today is 7/19, and the personal day for today is the 19. And 19 in numerology is the symbol of the sun. In tarot, that's the symbol of the sun. And 19 is a symbol of final accomplishments. It's an alpha and omega energy. It's a highly favorable number, but it's also a number today represents a number of self-confidence, innovative, and shifting the paradigm. But also, because it is the number of the sun shines light onto things. And because this day adds up to the 24, this universal day, 7 plus 1 plus 9 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 3 adds up to 24, which is a 6. It's time to shine light on family if the number 6 is the number of family, truth, justice, balance, harmony, healing, forgiveness, ma'at, bringing balance. So family healing is needed. And if you do want to ask a question, you're more than welcome to circulate some funds via Cash App or PayPal.me/King Simon, and then put your question in the question box inside this video about your family. You know, again, if you do want to ask questions, I'm not going to answer questions unless you circulate the funds. Now it's time to circulate and respect what I do. So I'm not just going to throw it at you because, you know, it's very important to understand that number 6 and all even numbers are healing numbers. Number 6 and all even numbers are healing and balanced numbers. The 2, 4, 6, 8 all represents healing and helping in some form or fashion. So it's very important that we recognize this. So in my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability, I quote Les Brown first. And Les Brown, you know, is one of my judges, I don't say mentor, because mentor has sexual connotations back in history, and it's not good. Just gonna let y'all know that. Y'all like to call people mentors and mentees and all that. I'm sorry, I can't use that word. I use the word jejna. Jejna is a holistic, accountable teacher and warrior. That's accountable, not taking off children because you're giving them knowledge, like mentor means. That's what that person named Mentor used to do. And I got the bibliography and the books to back it up. There's a history behind the word mentor. So I will encourage all of you to stop calling yourself and others mentors or mentee. Now, if you're in that lifestyle of loving men on men and women on women, then hey, use it. That's what Mentor did. He loved boys. He enjoyed having sex with boys while giving them knowledge. If that's what you're into, that's your business. If you enjoy having sex with girls, little girls, women having sex with little girls and having sex with little boys to give them knowledge, then that's what you're into. Then you call yourself mentee and mentor all you damn there want. I got the history and I got the information to back it up from a book by Dr. Baruti. Dr. Africa used to teach about it, break it down. It's all there. And the bibliography coming from white scholars. So I'm not going to go there. Let's stay focused. I'll drink to that. Now, in my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability, on page 55, I say, family is one of the most important components to mental health. Good, bad, spiritual, physical, and psychological. Because it is very often due to family imbalance and or the lack of understanding of mental health and its connection to physical health and depression occurs. Dr. Brock Chisholm, born May 18, 1896, who passed on at February 4th, 1971, the first Director General of the World Health Organization, who was a psychiatrist and shepherded the notion that mental and physical health are intimately linked. Dr. Chisholm was famous for stating without mental health, there can be no physical health. Without mental health, there can be no true physical health. This is what the great doctor said, who was the first director of the World Health Organization. Then I go on to say, learning to recognize symptoms or possible conditions of mental issues, circulation problems, and other physical and psychological ailments is not an easy job. It requires observation and basic examination skills from elders who may have seen or heard of these conditions in the family before. In many instances, these health matters are passed down from generation to generation. So observation is a very important skill that needs to be developed amongst family members and close friends. Family. In all of our family, you can recognize possible health conditions by things that they might have done repetitiously in their family. If somebody constantly eats salt in your family, one day that person is going to have blood pressure problems. If a person constantly eats sugar in that family, one day they're going to develop diabetes. If they're constantly eating bad, one of their organs is definitely going to fall out over the years. It happens. Congestion happens. And then I go on to say in this chapter, I said, again, one of the family skills should be observation and being able to observe health patterns in the family tree. This is definitely a skill that mothers and fathers should develop because they are the child's first connection outside of the womb. Of course, we all know mom usually has the stronger connection to the child, and this divine connection usually starts from conception. However, This divine conception and observation should be a holistic balance. Should be a holistic balance activity done by mom, dad, and the immediate family on both sides. Very important that y'all recognize the need of family healing is needed, because sometimes we take what we have taken on from our family and carry it into our families that we're making, our relationships and all of that. Thus, a lot of relationships go through their ups and downs or go through their divorce. Thus, a lot of relationships go through, you find out that that person had mental health issues in their family, or that man had mental health issues in their family, that woman had mental health issues in the family. And then when you go back into time, you find that your mother or your father or your great-grandfather, and whatever you know in the family tree, it goes back to the need to be able to observe. And if the people of the past is not observing carefully and then passing it down to our relatives so we can observe it moving forward, then that's where the cycle continues. You know, Dr. Africa wrote a great book called Controlling, Understanding, and Raising Black Children. Controlling, Understanding, and Raising Black Children by Dr. Laila Africa. Yeah, you could epigenetics. Hey, whatever word they wanted. Remember, these are European words that they add to it. But in Africa and in indigenous places, they didn't even understand these European words. They had to understand the cycles and patterns of these. And whether they named it from an African indigenous, always remember that Europeans, like Dr. Africa used to call them, Europeans, when they try to understand something or understand people and things around them, they study it and then call it something. They call it epigenetics. They call it biology. They study it. And then they create the language for us. They create the language for us, and we start throwing out these words and these big words and and all that, when it's just simple to find what is the pattern, what is the mathematical pattern, and what is the astrological pattern. That's what our ancestors understood. That's why they was able to compute and recognize the 26,000 year cycle. And they was able to, and they passed it down from generation to generation. That's why they knew that there was a such cycle as an Aquarian cycle. Before it's misnomered Aquarian, but they changed up a lot of things. But getting back to the point, it's always about recognizing and observing carefully so you can bring balance back to your family. Bringing balance back to your family is most important. This Journey 44, thank you for buying a badge. Thank you very much for showing love. And those who do want to show love via buying a badge or Cash App or PayPal, if you want to ask a question now, that's why I have a question mark for questions. It says for questions, circulate some finance, circulate through Cash App or PayPal or buying badges, and then ask me the question in the question bar right here on IG, whether it's pertaining to your name or your birthday or your family. I wrote this book for a reason. Not to say that I'm some type of therapist. I wrote the Numerovation for Mental Stability to help people recognize the constant patterns that might show up in family. Might show up because I show you from my family where it showed up, the mental health issues. And when you constantly see the imbalance numbers that show up or the balance numbers that show up, it don't mean that exactly you're going to go down the imbalance cycle, but it means that you have to pay attention to the number 4, the number 2, the number 6. You got to pay attention to the ailments that can be attracted to the balance numbers. You got to pay attention. You got to pay attention. Most panic attacks come from anxiety. So most people that are born with that panic, since you shared a donation, I'm going to answer that question. Remember, the word panic starts off with a number 8. a 7 in one system of numerology, and a number 8 in another system of numerology. And then you have 1, 5, 5, 9, 1, and 3. So in the Chaldean system of the word panic, 15, 16, 17, 18, it adds up to a number 18. And that number 18 is a spiritual number that deals with the moon in tarot, but it's dealing with something deeper and spiritual that's coming out, what makes you see or makes you acknowledge a panic attack. Now, again, most of it is caused by anxiety, and I know they have a whole study on panic attacks, but the word panic in numerology adds up to the number 18, and in numerology, that number 18 is a very interesting number when you break it down, because 18, especially in my book, I talk about, that means because the word starts off with the number 8 in the Chaldean system, panic, it's the material side striving to destroy the spiritual side. So the word panic starts off with the lead letter. So that tells me that the leading cause of panicking is that the spiritual side is striving to destroy the material side is striving to destroy the spiritual side. And the word adds up to the number 18. So that deals with the being very mindful of being deceptive to yourself. Unseen perils can come with a panic attack also. I'm only answering Sister's question, Journey 44, because she did support by sending a badge. From my numerical perspective, the word panic in the Chaldean system adds up to 18, which is a 9, which 9 in its negative can be very destructive unless the person that suffers from panic attacks is willing to heal and find some type of discipline, because 18, 1 and 8 is 1 is the creative and 8 is the disciplinary number. So they have to find creative ways to discipline themselves so they will not get the panic attack. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Somebody named Juan Flipping or Juan Flipping, if you're in the live, please send me a question in the question bar. There's a question mark right there at the bottom because you did circulate some funds. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Your name is Flippings on IG. Big up to Flippings on IG. They sent me a Cash App. Thank you very much. If you sent the Cash App, beautiful. Don't come up. I'm not bringing anybody up on the live. I'm not bringing anybody up on the live. Please send me a question in the question bar. If there's a question mark right there, I'm not bringing anybody up on the live. Please put your question. Journey 44, does that make sense to you? I hope what I said makes sense. I'm not the professional on panic attacks and all that, but I see the mathematics behind it. And I can see where it can go that way according to the mathematics. All right. So whoever's last name is Flippings, please put your question, unless you're just sending a donation to show respect. Thank you very much. And okay. And thank you. I think it's So Fine and Natural. Please put your question in the bar. What does 24? 24 are all healing numbers. 24 is a healing number. 24 is a healing number, but it's a symbol of assistance. The compound number 24. Since she sent me a donation, she sent me a badge. 24 means assistance and assistance from those in high-ranking positions, both spiritual and physical. People born on the 24th are very magnetic, but they're also magnetic for the positive of people that need help, especially in your family, and also in relationships. So people connected to the 24 have to be very mindful because they attract people that need help and healing. I've cut off family. Okay, you're Flippins. Okay. I've cut family off for my own mental health. I have had habits of running from problems. I'm at peace now. However, I'm not sure if this is me not facing obstacles. More than likely, it's you not facing. Look, I mean, your name is Flippin'. So maybe you like to flip the obstacle. You need to flip it into something that's going to be prosperous for you. Now, I don't know your birthday because you didn't put up your birthday. But remember, every family that we came through is either going to give us the hard lessons that you can convert into blessings so you don't pass it on, like I said in my book. Like I'm talking about out of my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability, because I talk about it in the book in page 55. So I don't know your birthday and why you would be running from something. You know what I'm saying? But that name flipping means you need to flip it into something that's going to be beneficial to you. Just by looking at that word, I know you need to learn how to flip it. That's going to be better. So if you had to cut off certain people, it's not that I had to cut off people in my family. It's not that you don't love them. You know, you just don't have no time for their drama. You don't have no time, and you have to maintain a certain mental stability because some people, exactly. You're born on the 29th. Is that you? Yeah. I'm not. Somebody just put in. No, I'm not doing unless you're circulating funds through Cash App or PayPal. I'm not doing any readings or breaking down your numbers, but I want to know Flippin's birthday. Flippin's, what is your birthday? Because you did circulate some funds and I want to respect that. Flippin's, what is your birthday? Flippin's. So I can break down why you may be running with your numbers. Because sometimes there are people that have to avoid energy vampires, especially people born under the number 2, 7, or connected to the 2 and 7 in any way. They got to be very careful of energy vampires. Master numbers have to be very careful of the energy vampires. Very careful. You know what I'm saying? Very careful of energy vampires. Master numbers, and especially 2s and 7, because those are highly your birthday. There it goes. If Flippins, if that's your birthday, yes, you got cutting off people. I understand it. I understand. My grandmother was born on 7/7 also. She was born 7/7/1906, and she was one that used to run away. She never really dealt with the issues, but I do say in order for you to deal with the issue, being born under that number, because your alignment numbers are 14, and 14, which is a 5, is a running number. Y'all like to be free. Y'all like your freedom. You don't want people getting on your nerves. I got it. I can look at your numbers and say what it is. But because 7 is a dominant in your chart, and I'm not talking about just the 7/7, but 7 plus 7 plus 1979 equals 1993, and that adds up to a number 4 when you break it all down. It actually adds up to a master number 22. And that means your life path is a 22. So what happens, because you have 7 and 22 and it all breaks down to a number 4, you have the tendency to hold things in your head, and anytime you hold things in your head, it could also make you become a worrying person. So you got to be very careful, especially people born on the 7. They got to be very careful. People born on the 7 have to be very careful of energy drainers. And if your family are energy drainers, leave them alone. You can love them, but leave them alone and learn from them from afar. Learn from them from afar. Connect with those that you may have a light of understanding, but those that are constantly bringing worry and madness to to your life, you can't afford that, because you came through to deal with that energy right now and find balance and discipline and structure. You need to learn how to understand it, deal with it, and heal from it, because your life path is a master number 22, Flippins. So I hope that helped. But if you do a full session with me, believe me, I can get some more, because remember, I break down the names and the birthdays, and I show you all the nuances of and then I'll lead you to whoever you need to go get help with, because people born under your numbers need to use multiplicity of different systems to maintain mental balance. That's why in my book, Numerovation for Mental Stability, the primary numbers from my studies that can go down the mental health issue problem is the number 4, 7, 8, 5, and 3. 5 and 3 are only on the bottom of the totem pole only because 5 and 3 can be very jovial. And if you irk their nerves, just like your alignment numbers are 14, which is 5, if someone irks your nerves and get on your nerves, it can lead you down mental nervous issues, which can lead you down nervous depression and mental depression. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. You know what I'm saying? Let me see something for a second. The video pause. I hope I'm making sense, Flippings. Kaya Maya, I don't know how to say your name. Kamaya. I hope I'm making sense. I hope I made a little sense. But if you do a full session with me, we can get and pinpoint certain things, because my grandmother, who was born on your birthday, got checked into a mental health hospital by a family member. Because sometimes things can take you there. And most 7s that I've known in my life, my mother is also attached to the number 7 because she's born April 21st. And that April 21st adds up to 25, which is a 7. She had to be checked into a mental health hospital also. So any family that you're coming through, again, in order for you to get any questions answered, you got to either buy a badge or you got to circulate some Cash App or some PayPal. Right now, I'm not answering anybody that haven't circulated no energy with me. What would cause family disharmony? What would cause family disharmony? Ignorance, arrogance, the unwillingness to be in harmony or work things out. That's a few words that I can throw out there because I've been down that road with my own family. Disharmony or dysfunctional. I know you shared a badge, so thank you for showing badges, you know. Spreading some love. Thank you for spreading love. Thank you for spreading love. Freedom 4, you got to send a donation. Please send a donation via Cash App or PayPal. It's right there on the screen there. Or buy a badge, and I will entertain this. But again, family healing is so needed, and maybe you came through to break the cycle of what's going on in your family. I know I kind of repeated a cycle of the womanizing thing that my father did in the club, because I also went into the club. Then I was born in a nightclub. The year I was born, my father opened a nightclub. And I wrote about that in my book, No Promotion is Bad Promotion. I wrote about that in my book, No Promotion is Bad Promotion. I had to break it down from a mathematical perspective and all of that. So if my father when my mother went to work at night and my father was having a party, yeah, he was having sex with women. He was doing his thing. And he would have sex with women across the street and across up the block and he was throwing it around. That's what he was doing. So that's exactly what he was doing. He was throwing it around. You know what I'm saying? He was throwing it around. You know, he was throwing it around. You know what I'm saying? And that was very challenging to my family. And then when my cousin got into the club life, because he took over the club after my father left, he was doing the same madness also. And then when I got into the club life, I was doing. Most of my children's mothers are out of the club life. Most of my children's mothers out of club life. Two of my wives, only one of my wives I did marry that was out of the club life. But 2 of them. Your birthday is 24. Okay, good. I broke down something about that 24. So you gotta, if you want to do a full session with me, it's gonna be powerful. But 24s, remember, y'all attract people that need help and healing a lot. And if you're not willing to walk that path with them, then it won't work, especially in relationships. People may come to you, people born on the 24, people may come to them come to them with all kinds of problems or tell their whole life story to you. And you can't solve everything. You can't solve everything. You know what I'm saying? You can't solve everybody's problems, but there are solutions to every problem on earth. There's a cure to every disease on earth, but there are solutions to every problem on earth. For real, for real. In my chart says night terrors. In my chart, I'm spiritual, but how do I turn that around mental health? Well, because your alignment number is a 17, when I look at your chart, and I know, Journey, you bought some more badges. Thank you very much. Enough respect to those that bought badges or send Cash App or whatever. When you add that 7 plus the 10 plus the 1975, the way you turn it around is by writing, because your life path is a number 3. Actually, 18, 19, 20, 21. Your life path is a 21, which is a 3. And the 21 in numerology is the crown of the Magi. And the Magi's need to be able to turn nothing into something. And only way you're going to turn nothing into something is by writing your ideals. That's why when I talk to people with the 3 life path like that, or people that have born on the 3rd or have the born in the 3rd month or whatever, you need to always turn your pain, pleasures, and passion into profit. Don't suffer through mental health without turning it into making some money from it. That's what I'm trying to say. Circulate, get it circulated. Turn it into profit. Everybody connected to the 3 in any capacity, when it's your name, your birthday, your middle name, your last name, your birthday, you're supposed to turn your pain, pleasures, and profit in a jovial and happy manner into profit. Turn it all into profit. Don't waste it. Like the great number 30, the great number, you love writing, but you got to make sure you profit from it. When last have you put your writing on Amazon and turned it into a book? The great Winston Churchill was born November 30th. He said, his quote was, "Never let a good crisis go to waste." If you're going through crisis and mental health problems as a number 3, he was born on the 30th. So he never let a good crisis go to waste, because people born connected to the number 3 is supposed to turn their pain, pleasures, and passion into profit. I'm just saying. Why not? Look at Mike Tyson. All of his pain, pleasures, and passions has now become more profitable now as he's gotten older. He's born June the 30th. So did Dick Gregory, born October the 12th. Bill Cosby, he can make some money right now just because of his pain, pleasures, and passions. He's born July the 12th. So people born under that 3 energy, and your life path is a 3, that means life path is not the most important. It just means that the number 3 followed you throughout your whole life. That's all it means. So if you love writing, and since you bought a few badges, I'm only giving you this love. Because you love writing, you need to turn your writing into something that's going to profit you and leave a legacy for you. That's why the great Billy Carson says, everybody should write a book. Makes sense? I know. Hey, look, I know what I'm doing. I love what I do. That's why I do it. I love what I do. That's why I do it. And people, if you want to circulate some funds through either the badges, or you want to circulate a little funds through Cash App and PayPal, only if for questions, that's why I said for question mark, circulate through Cash App, PayPal. Let me see if anybody hit me up on Cash App again. Nobody hit me on Cash App, but let me see if anybody hit me up on PayPal. I don't see no PayPal email, so I don't see that. So, all right. So, yeah, that makes sense. Damn it. Look, remember, Journey, you're born 7/10. I want you to check what I'm about to say now, because you bought a few badges, and thank you for supporting me all this time. You born 7/10. 7 plus 10 equals 17. Is that correct? 7 plus 10 equals 17. Your alignment number Happy birthday to High Heels. What's up, baby? My good sister. Assalamu alaikum. Had her on yesterday, tearing it down. But you're born 7/10. Happy belated birthday, by the way, Journey. You're born 7/10. The alignment number that you're born under as up to 17, that is the legacy leaving number. And if your life path is a number 3, you're supposed to write, express, and expand, and then turn your pain, passions into profit, pain, passion, and pleasures into profit. I know I got that PPP. I'm here getting tongue-tied. You're supposed to turn your pain, pleasures, and passion into profit and leave a legacy. That's why 17 is the number of legacy. It's in my book. It's in my book. It's in my mother flipping book about the legacy leaving number. Do I have to sound like Bill Cosby up in this, please? You got to get the Jell-O pudding and go get your book ready and put it out. You understand? Yeah, don't let me start here. If I got back into imitation like I used to do back in the day, I could get back. I just haven't practiced my vocal imitations in a long time, and I used to do that on radio back in the day. Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
Did you ever wonder if your birth date holds information about your destiny? Why you keep seeing the same number or several numbers?
Welcome to Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. I am your host, King Simon. Numbers are not here to control you, they're here to give you guidance. It's time for you to be able to read the numbers.
Greetings. Enter to win 500 grams of silver grains. The 100 subscriber to banksilver.org will win 500 grams of silver, 0.999 grams.
Hi, I'm Lloyd Strayhorn, inviting you to heal with the numbers and cards in person at the Circle of Cosmic Consciousness Retreat in New Orleans. Go to stshealing.com to learn from the Masters, Aquarius Maximus, King Simon, Nina Diamond, Jazz Aphrodite, and myself. Don't forget, New Orleans, August 17th through the 20th at the Cosmic Consciousness Retreat. Register now at stshealing.com. That's stshealing.com. See you there.
Billy Carson here, aka Forbidden Knowledge. I want to talk to you about an amazing event. It's the Forbidden Conscious Awards going down in Miami, July 30th, 2023. Go to forbiddenknowledge.com where you can pay for tickets. We're giving away 12 amazing awards. We're also going to give away an Audi A4 live at the event with big celebrity guests like Havoc from Mobb Deep, myself, Forbidden Knowledge. Also, we'll have Dame Dash, performances by Donnie Arcade, and Cruz. I want to see you there, July 30th, the Forbidden Conscious Awards.
Hey, this is King Simon, the International Numerovator. Remember, get all my books on Amazon or go to Linktree/King Simon, the Numerovator. And remember, don't forget to book my sessions at 347-496-1022. Book now.
Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovator. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now.